Greetings everybody and welcome to Madrid Ball. I hope you all are doing good. Real Madrid got the 7th consecutive victory in a row to place themselves 7 points clear of Atletico Madrid. But Madridistas, it won't be a stretch to say that Real Madrid barely hung on by a thread against the Basque side. It was again a game of two halves. We had top quality football from Madrid in the first half, some vulnerability in the second, and truth to be told, once again Thibaut Courtois was massively important in securing all the 3 points. There's no doubt about how crucial a piece Courtois has been in this Real Madrid side. We know he's been pivotal in Real Madrid not dropping points, and in my view, yesterday's game was a mix of happiness and disappointment. Obviously, I'm happy that we won the 3 points, but there were some glaring chances that Athletic had in the game, and had those been converted, it could have been a very different story. So in this video, we will be doing the post-match analysis of Real Madrid versus Athletic Bilbao. We'll talk about the important happenings of the game, and without further ado, let's get started. And having a look at the lineup, there was Courtois in goal. In the back four, we had Vasquez, Militao, Alaba and Mendy. In the midfield, again, we had the Gala midfield of Modric, Kroos and Casemiro. And in attack, we had Vinicius, Benzema and Asensio. And before moving forward, let's quickly do the shout-out. A few of you had anticipated that it was going to be a tight match, but today's shout-out winner is Mr. Mithun Martin, and I congratulate you for getting the scoreline correct. But anyways, if we talk a bit about the lineup, we were expecting some rotations in the game, but Ancelotti pretty much fielded the same lineup that we saw against Sevilla. The only exception was the inclusion of Lucas Vasquez instead of Dani Carvajal, and it was quite understandable why Ancelotti made that change. Firstly, we have to consider that Carvajal happens to be on the list of injury-prone players. The past season, he missed a majority of the campaign and suffered big time with different muscular problems. And seeing that we have some big games against Sociedad and Atletico, Ancelotti saw it as an opportunity to keep him fresh and ready for the big games ahead. We also have to remember that he didn't play particularly well in the previous game, so Ancelotti handed Carvajal a much-needed break to recharge his batteries and get his focus right before we take on the direct rivals in the coming few days. But talking about Lucas Vasquez, we did see him getting involved in the attack in the first half. He was also involved in switching play from time to time, and yes, he did have some pretty wild shots off target, but his biggest contribution came when he blocked the shot of Raul Garcia in the second half. He went in sliding, he had to stretch, anticipate the danger, be in the right place to block the shot, and undoubtedly that was a very important block, saving Madrid the blushes. So I did think it was a professional performance. He did his job. Maybe attacking wise he could have done a bit better, but we also have to remember it was his first game after a long time, so a hint of rust was always going to be a part of his game. But talking about the first half in general, this was a game where Real Madrid showed how good a side they can actually be. There was a lot to like about the first half performance. We were the team exhibiting dominance. Our passing was crisp, there was quick switch of play, the movement on and off the ball was excellent. It looked like Real Madrid were passing with purpose. We were quick to recover possession, the counter pressing was good as well, and what was enjoyable to see is that all of this was done at a very good tempo. We were suspecting how good the players would be physically. We had the trip to Moldova followed by a hugely demanding game against Sevilla, and thus the concerns of fatigue were genuine. By the way Real Madrid played in the first half, we can say we didn't see any signs of that. Kroos, Casemiro and Modric were dictating the play. Vinicius, Benzema and Asensio with their movement were building massive pressure on the Athletic defense, and you could clearly see the game plan of Bilbao wasn't working at all. It was an underwhelming display. They tried to defend with 2 backs of 4. There were men back defending and they attempted to stay compact, almost crowding out the penalty box. But the problem for Athletic was that even though they had men back defending, they weren't able to stop Madrid. The intensity with which Madrid were playing, the movement of the attackers up front was almost impossible to track. Kroos and Modric between the lines were working the magic, and when Madrid play like this, firstly, it's a joy to watch, it was entertaining stuff, and secondly, not many teams have the quality to weather the onslaught. The first goal that we scored was a result of the qualities we showcased. The build-up for the goal was absolutely slick. It all started with Vinicius doing a 1-2 with Modric at the end of the box. He then passes the ball to Asensio. Asensio takes the shot, but the keeper could only parry the ball to Modric. Modric has a swing and miscues his shot, but eventually Karim Benzema was there in the right place at the right time. It was a simple tap and goal, and that goal was thoroughly deserved for all the hard work that Real Madrid had done. We could feel the goal coming, and it wasn't a coincidence that a most prolific striker was on the score sheet. And I'd also like to talk about the performance of Vinicius Jr. I thought it was one of the more mature performances I have seen from the Brazilian. He didn't get on the score sheet, but the way he was taking on players, the way he was making the passes, his decision making was excellent on the night, and you just feel like Vinicius Jr. as a player is growing with each passing day. We used to see him hesitant whenever he reached the penalty box earlier, but at this stage he's much more relaxed. He scans for the best options rather than having a swing at goal. He doesn't panic in front of the keeper, and I was also impressed with the combination play. He came with some nice bit of skills, and the Athletic left back Legway had a very tough time dealing with the Brazilian. Brazilian. So Vinicius put up an enjoyable performance which was appreciated by the Bernabeu crowd and the Madridistas all over the world, and let's hope the youngster can keep growing under the guidance of Don Carlo. And now if we talk about the second half, this was a half where Athletic were much more courageous, and since they were a goal behind, they had to go after Real Madrid. Madrid as well had lost the glitter of the first half, and Athletic had many opportunities where they could have scored. We needed the heroics from Thibaut Courtois on these occasions, and also Athletic Bilbao have themselves to blame for this loss. The finishing wasn't on par on the night. Iñaki Williams was very poor with his finishing, and it must be frustrating for the Athletic fans. He's a decent player who can work the defenders. He causes all sorts of problems with his pace and positioning. In fact, Militao and Alaba both struggled to deal with him and handed him some chances on a platter, but the finish of Iñaki Williams is one aspect of the game which has been disappointing over the years. His decision making has been questionable, and truly as a striker he should be bearing the chances that he got in the game. So overall it was a game where Real Madrid could have done better. The second half was a nervous ride all along. We also saw some defensive lapses from both Alaba and Militao. The high line of Madrid was exposed a few times, and lastly Madrid would also look to improve on defending from set pieces. There were some desperate moments in this regard. We have seen some individual errors from the defense, and hopefully Real Madrid would do away with these problems in the upcoming matches, because Sociedad and Atletico will not be lenient and forgiving as Athletic Bilbao. So those were my thoughts from the game, and let's complete this video by hearing the thoughts of Carlo Ancelotti. The coach analysed the performance of the team as he said, "We played against a good team who played with great intensity. They hadn't lost away from home so far and had 2 extra days of rest. We did well in the first half. In the second, we misplaced more passes and had to endure a difficult 15 or 20 minutes. But we are capable of digging deep when we can't play the football we would like to. There are others who, when they aren't able to do what they want, they give up. Real Madrid aren't like that because we have a group of players with a really strong desire at the moment." Then the coach was asked about the physical condition of the players, and Ancelotti responded, "The team was tired towards the end. It's normal because we played against a fresher team and I felt that a bit. I have to take into account these things for the next match. I have to see if the players who showed signs of fatigue can play. I also think with 5 changes it's good to put on players with more quality in the first 60 minutes and players with more energy in the next 30 minutes. And lastly, Ancelotti was asked if Thibaut Courtois was the best goalie that he ever had, and Ancelotti replied, "He does extraordinary things, what he does in games and in training daily. Sometimes I tell him to give the attackers more confidence because he literally stops everything. We have him with us and we take advantage of it. It's difficult to say who is the best goalkeeper I've played with. I've got a list of great goalkeepers: Casillas, Diego Lopez, Buffon, Neuer and Cech. Courtois is right up there at the moment." So that concludes the post-match thoughts of Carlo Ancelotti, and now it's your turn to say what you thought about the performance that Real Madrid put up yesterday. What were the things that you noted from the game? Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you soon. Till then, take care. Glory to Madrid, and as always, a la Madrid.